Hello, friends. Looking at the quizzes, I did see that in 2.1.2.2, the practice quiz, they write their notation for end behavior a little bit differently. And so I just want to briefly go over that so that you can match your answers up well. So say that I had this polynomial graph. What we've been saying is the right end's going down and the left end's going up, which is true. But when you see this notation in calculus, and since we're pre-calculus, we should probably talk about that. This is the x-axis, this is the y. This end goes to infinity, this end goes to negative infinity. And same with the y when you're talking about up and down. So what you're going to see when you have this notation is they're not going to write it like that. So for this part, we're talking about the left end of the graph. So this is the left end of the graph. And this is up, and this is down, and this is the right end of the graph. So when we're talking about the left end of the graph going up, it will read as x goes to, and since x is going off to the left, you would write negative infinity. And then since this one's going up, you would say f of x, which is the same as y, is going towards. And since that would be going up, according to my example, I would write positive infinity. So let's look at that again with the right end of this graph. So I said the right end is going down. So when they talk about the right end, it'll say as x goes to, and then the right end is infinity. Then it'll talk about f of x, which is the y, going towards, and since I said it was going down, it would be going down towards negative infinity. So you just kind of want to get that notation down. So when they're talking about the left end, it will read as x approaches negative infinity. And when they're discussing the right end, it will be as x approaches positive infinity. And they may or may not put the plus sign, because that is the right end of your graph, positive infinity. This is the left end of your graph, negative infinity. So when you want to talk about left or right, it's going to look like this instead. Then the second part, when you want to talk about up or down, if you're trying to say up, it's going to read as f of x goes to infinity, because that is up. And if you want to write down, you would write as f of x goes to negative infinity. So say that I had f of x equals negative 3x to the fourth plus blah, 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 blah. All I care about is this. Keep in mind, this is my degree. My degree is even, so I know the ends are the same. This is my a, it's negative, so I know the right end's going down. Keeping in mind that they're doing the same thing, that would indicate that the left is also going down. So I personally would still probably write it like this, because that's our easy language and what we know how to do. Now I'm going to use this information to help me match it to what I actually see on the quizzes or next year in calculus. So to do this part, the left, it'll read as x approaches, and I'm looking at the left, so it would be negative infinity, f of x, and since it's going down, would be approaching negative infinity. That is the equivalent of writing the left end goes down. When it's time to write that the right end goes down, I go through there and think, okay, so now I'm talking about the right end, and the right end is as x goes to positive infinity. And again, since it's going down, I would write f of x goes to negative infinity. So hopefully that helps. You may very well need this as you go through the quizzes. It shouldn't be a lot of math or solving on the quizzes. You're going to maybe have to factor a few times, but the majority of it is just going to be looking at things and knowing what it means. So you may want your green chart. You may want this particular part of the video. I'm also going to post this as a filled in note, so that way you don't have to watch the whole video. You can just look at this part of the notes and have it in front of you